Welcome to a Funky Friday, the War of the Words. Not really a war. Just talking about idioms. The phrases where people say that don't exactly mean exactly literally what they say, like raining cats and dogs. Well, you know, it's not really raining cats and dogs, but did you know, and I have it all right here, that, of course it means heavy rain, we know this, but it was first used around 1651 as referred to as a strong roof that could hold safely a cat or a dog when it was raining out. So maybe when there came raining cats and dogs and such a goosh of rainfall fell down onto the roof, they were afraid the cats or dogs that got on the roof would become tumbling down. But yes, that's what an idiom is, or shooting the breeze. Doesn't really mean, come here, breeze, right? It means gossiping or idle chit-chat. Head over heels. A lot of times we take that now to mean like, oh yeah, I'm head over heels for so-and-so. But back in the day, they literally meant, 1771-ish, originally meant to be upside down. So anyway, break a leg. Of course, anybody who's in theater or not in theater has probably heard of that. It's a superstitious thing they would say. So they say something bad at you, it'll give you good luck because you'll have the opposite effect. I'm not exactly sure why they think that, but... And did you also know you're not supposed to whistle in a dressing room? So keep the whistling outside of the dressing room. I would say to a minimum, but you're not supposed to whistle at all. Okay, and mum's the word. Mum's the word. We know that means silence. I think some of these came from merry old England. So, and that's been around actually since about 1376. So that's been around since the medieval times. Tongue in cheek. Obviously, not serious, making jokes. Not necessarily tongue in cheek, even though I think it did have to do with they said a certain look someone got when they had it. And for the birds, that's for the birds. Well, the bird seed's for the birds. But when I said it back then, it meant meaningless or worthless, right? Something you didn't want. And, oh, and by the way, that was American, and during World War II time that really actually came out. And I like this one. I don't think I actually have heard this before, but I'm sure a lot of you have. And it's originally and British or English. But I thought it was funny. All mouth and no trousers. I think we could pretty much know what that's saying. You know, when you don't have it to back it up, but you're talking. How did they say exactly? Someone who talks, crap a lot, but can't back himself up. Pardon my French, but fork off, as I always used to. I used to say the F word all the time because my late fiance came from England, so he would just say, you mother, blah, 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 and it just didn't mean anything. It's almost like a filler word, right? I mean, you English people know that, British people. So he got me to saying it all the time, and then I just sort of came back to not saying it so much. Now I'll just say fork off because it sounds cute, and I don't know. And I said it sometimes when he was still around, and he would say, "Don't say fork off, say fuck," Say fuck off. Cat got your tongue. I used to hear this all the time. Cat got your tongue. You know, because I wasn't always a talkative person when I was growing up. So, cat got your tongue? Obviously meant to provoke people. I say cat, and there's one in the background. It's obviously meant to provoke people to talk. Okay, and okay, ready to shooting the breeze. Under the weather. Now this was a little bit funny because there is a story behind this. Under the weather. We know under the weather means, oh, I'm not feeling so good. I'm under the weather, right? But back in the old yore of sailor days, sometimes the sick sailors would exceed. They had papers to label when someone was sick, you know, recorded on their names. And sometimes they would have so many sick sailors that they ran out of space. So then they went to recording it under the, you got it, weather column. So they were actually literally listed under the weather. Is that so funny? It's so weird and funny. And, yes, you got more. A piece of cake. Easy peasy, you know. That's easy. A piece of cake. Unless, of course, somebody's really holding a piece of cake to you, then eat it. How about this next one, which is about from the 1870s? I used to hear this all the time, too. I'm sure everyone has. Have my cake and eat it, too. I can guarantee you, if I have my cake, I'm going to eat it, too. But that's not what it means. Obviously, it means when you have two things you desire and you want to do them both. Or do them both. And we've heard I'm sure we've heard all of these before. Barking up the wrong tree. It doesn't really literally mean barking up a tree, right? It means, okay, I skipped one, but anyway, we'll go back to that. It means wrong conclusion. A lot of times that happens. We get the wrong thing someone's saying and they're barking up the wrong tree. Thick as thieves. Being allied with someone. Being thick as thieves. But it probably did start back in the thievery times. I don't know. I don't think that's ever not still going on, but here's one we've all heard about 1,000 times. Wild goose chase. Hopeless search. Doesn't really mean chasing geese. And greatest thing since sliced bread. You know, the invention of sliced bread. So obviously it means particularly innovative or invention. Walking on eggshells. Oh, don't you hate feeling like you're walking on eggshells? Literally not walking on eggshells, but feeling like you're walking, you might as well be literally walking on eggshells. When you feel like you don't know where you stand, you feel like you have to be constantly careful. Yeah, really. And once in a blue moon, obviously, to hardly ever do anything, because we don't have blue moons that often, or do we? I don't know. My lips are sealed. They're not literally sealed, because I could still talk. But keeping a secret, sort of like mum's the word, sort of, you know. It's the same thing, same meaning. Cold feet. When somebody's got cold feet, well, they could literally have cold feet, or they could be saying they're nervous or scared or chicken shit about something, right? Christmas, I'm going to do a little bit of Christmassy stuff over here too. Christmas come early. You've all heard that saying, right? Like something really exciting happens, like Christmas come early. Stocking stuffer, I'm not sure what that one's doing here, because really is that an idiom? I was looking up Christmas idioms, and don't know. Maybe it could be two. Obviously, like a small gift where you put in your stocking. We used to get those all the time. Be there with bells on. Enthusiastic way to say you're readily accept an invitation. Ready to party. Okay. The more the merrier. Oh, yeah, I said that all the time. My mom used to say the more the merrier. Obviously, we know what the more the merrier means. The more people, the funner it is. Which sometimes is true and sometimes not always so. And snow job doesn't really necessarily mean a snow job, like shoveling snow off the sidewalk. It means insincere talk and making exaggerated claims. And the last but not least, snowball effect. A relatively insignificant situation that rapidly gains momentum. It starts out really little, and then by the time you're done, it's like, you know. I think we've all had those situations. Anyway, just a few more things. And the other day I was hearing a movie. The movie was, I did like it and I didn't like it. I was thinking about doing a review of the movie, but then I thought, I don't know. I did like the movie to watch it once. But it was sort of like, it was like a da-da-da, but it was like a Hallmark, da-da-da. So it was kind of fluffy, can't think of the word sappy, there. It was so sappy. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it, I mean, but it was just, in a way it was like they were trying to sort of like do that movie, like sort of make it a little bit like that movie. Oh my goodness, I have that DVD too, where that lady gets on the plane with her daughter, but somebody kidnaps her daughter and nobody sees it or believes it. They made this movie like it. And Lacey Chabert plays in it, but I love that actress. And she does play on Hallmark, so she sort of hallmarked it up a little, but it was a movie like that. Like, she was getting on this, she had to go to a place in Switzerland, like I don't remember if it was like the capital or where it was supposed to be in Switzerland, and to give these papers over or for a book or something. She was supposedly working under an author. But he was doing things about Nazis and secret things like that, and people were after him. Well, she has to quickly leave on this flight to make sure that she makes it there. And so they put her on one of those red eye or like those overnight nonstop there's an earlier flight, let's just put you on it, standby sort of thing. Well, she wasn't really on a standby, but they just sort of put her there, on it. Of course, some of the not so people were on there too. And she met this really cute guy, by the way. He also played on the Hallmark, so I bet you the Hallmark did this movie. And I think it was a made-for-TV movie, so probably was Hallmark. Yeah, they started like kissing and things, and then she passed out because she had all this, like sleeping, and all that. And when she wakes up, her luggage is gone, her ring at first is gone, and the guy is gone. She's like, and she's like bothering this, like, alcoholic lady, a steward lady, the stewardess, who was really grouchy and cranky lady about trying to find, all her stuff and, passengers. And it was just so like that movie that, what is that movie called? And I have love it. But anyway, I'm sure you all know what movie I'm talking about, and I know I'm going to remember it after I'm off of here. So anyway, I would watch it once, but I thought it was a little sappy. They gave it like 3.5 stars, so yeah, 3.5 stars out of 5. I would too. Wasn't the worst movie, but it wasn't even a bad movie. It was just, it's not lame, really. Some people probably would think that. I just think it was sappy. Anyway, I wish everyone a wonderful Friday and a wonderful weekend ahead, and over and out.